My course has been telling you guys all sorts of different forms of internet traffic. We've touched based on banner ads, solo ads, traffic agencies, all sorts of different ideas to just get you going. Most ideas, if you're thinking traffic, a lot of we only have a slight little thing that we kind of, as business owners, think about. Okay, well, how do I get found on Google? And that's the rate. Well, there's a whole lot more different traffic sources, and they're fun, amazing, and definitely a great way to implement in your business to take you from here to skyrocketing results. Okay, so what I'm going to go over today is talking about penny traffic, but before we do that, just kind of an overview of the different traffic sources. When we're talking about traffic, we'll definitely try all the different strategies. There's some that, you're hearing the different overviews I'm going through, there's ones that you're going to gravitate more to than others. Awesome. Try those first. But definitely, budget permitting, try all the different strategies at least one or two times just so you get a sense of it. Something that you weren't interested initially could prove to be a perfect gold mine for your business. So that's why, don't disregard something if you're thinking, oh, I don't think that would be a good match in my business. No, really try it. Give it your all. Really try to run a successful campaign. Let the numbers be the determining factor instead of judging it ahead of time. So really do that. And then everything, you're going to start small. Most of the strategies I talk about can be started for about $100. So, I know it's definitely people are bootstrapping, so pick and choose with that. There's other strategies that are, a lot less than $100 to get started, but I think for all the ones that I have covered / going to cover, I think $100 should get you going for a good test. So $50 to $100 is really good whenever you're going to go and test out new campaigns. So just something to keep in mind with. Even if you have giant budgets, awesome, but always start small and then scale bigger. And then when we're talking about, we always want to be split testing landing pages and any other kind of things with that. We want to make sure that we're getting the absolutely best results that we can get. The idea is you want to beat yourself always. Don't worry about your competition. Just always work on bettering yourself, getting better numbers, better results, and that's how you can completely transform your business. And you guys cannot see it too many times. Definitely want this to stick with you guys as far as what the structure is when we're talking about internet marketing. So this structure, it can be very tempting to say, oh, okay, well, I'll try out the traffic source. Oh, I'm not going to worry about the, the rotator links, or, oh, okay, I'm just going to have one landing page. No, 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 no. Please get this structure ingrained in your brain and don't veer from it. So every traffic source that you have will have a different little mechanism set up. And with that being said, within each traffic source, if you're having, say if we're talking about solo ads, okay, awesome. Those are sending out, remember, emails to, other people are sending out emails to their list about your offer. So if you're trying solo ads, great, but you're going to have a different structure for each solo ad vendor if you're running more than one. So make sure every single traffic source and the actual individual traffic within each of those little brackets are going to have these. So remember, you're going to drive all of your traffic to a URL, and that's going to be a rotator link, which covering over there is going to cost you about $200 for that software service. So this part, okay, because that's going to send it, automatically, it's going to direct traffic to 1, 2, or 3 of your different landing pages. So that way, that's where your split testing comes in. Which landing page is getting better results? So from there, they're going to see your landing page and then go into your thank you or your offer page, whatever that might be. But at this point, when they're going from seeing the landing page to your offer, this is the part where they opt in or get onto your list, and that way you've captured their information whether or not they decide to do business with you. So pretty cool. This is the structure. You cannot see it enough times just to make sure that when you are starting to implement these different strategies I'm talking about, that you're setting up your structure first. If this page doesn't look familiar to you, please make sure to go back and catch the replays. They're on my website, learnonlinemarketingforfree.com. I think Gil has these things. Please, please, please go back through. Make sure that you understand this aspect before you actually get inspired to go out and try these traffic. But if your structure is not in place, you're going to be losing or wasting so much money because you're not doing things properly. And that's the way that most people do it, and you're not going to be like most people. Okay, so getting into our traffic strategies that I'm going to dive into, which is penny traffic for today. So, an introduction. What is penny traffic? What, any of this kind of aspects. So here's some pros when we're going to get into talking about it. There's tons of traffic with this source. You literally tons and tons and tons. It's very quick. Most paid traffic methods are generally pretty quick. And this part's really awesome because you can be highly targeted. So some traffic that we cover, you have to kind of tweak it and fiddle with things. This part can be extremely highly targeted, which is awesome. And it also has a self-serve platform, so you actually can go in and pick and choose where you want to advertise on. The con here, there's definitely an initial investment required to get going. You can't start, just kind of piddly and getting it going. You definitely have to make an investment. With this, it's $100 up to about $1,000 to get started. So, pick and choose. Start at the $100 if that's where you need to start. That's fine. But you do have an initial big cost to get started in this traffic strategy. The other, not so much of a con, but something to be aware of is when we're talking about self-serve platforms, it means that, it really comes down to your skills in order to make this a highly profitable traffic strategy. So it's not something, when we talked about other ones, there's not too much skill or technique involved. It's just, buy clicks or something like that. This one, you definitely have to know what you're doing a little more. It's not hard, but follow what we're saying, go through this stuff and really just get in there, get your feet wet, and you're going to learn along the way. Okay, so how it works, right? So traditionally, somebody does a Google search or any kind of search engine search. And when they do that search, they find a list of different websites. I know every single person watching this has used Google before to find something. So you're going to see it's going to be, a directory or a list, whatever, of all these different websites that correspond to what your Google search is. Great, awesome. So from there, you scroll down, and if something looks interesting, you go ahead and you click on it, and then you get directed to that website. So that's how it works, right? When we're searching for things on Google. Well, this traffic source is pretty ninja, and it completely changes the game. So instead of going and clicking on a website, something happens. And instead of going to that website that they think that they're clicking on, for example, if you're searching for, I like to use birds a lot. So if you're searching for bird, you go and you click on this website that you're interested in, that you think you'll find more information about the bird. Instead, it lands on your landing page, which is pretty awesome. So they think that they're clicking and getting there, and instead, something happens, and then they see your stuff. So that's basically the overview of what this is. So wait, how can this even be possible? Don't worry, it is 100% legal and ethical. What it is it's permission-based marketing. So and I'll kind of explain a little more on how that works, but basically somebody's given permission as a part of a network that has agreed to this type of advertising. So this is why it is legal and ethical. It's what we call white hat marketing. There's nothing fishy going on here. People have already said it's okay for you to do this to them. And it's kind of like hijacking traffic, which is a cool ninja strategy in that regard. So somebody thinks that they're going in this, and instead they see your ad. So it's what we call, contextual advertising. So basically, you're seeing related advertisements to what you're searching for. So it's very relevant. So if somebody's searching for, say, bird food, then a bird-related advertisement would seem to be, appropriately placed. I notice sometimes, if I see ads, and sometimes you can even say this is not relevant to you. So you definitely, this form of advertising, whatever it is that they're searching for, your ad is going to be very congruent. Sometimes when we're advertising, we might, somebody's looking for here and they just see an ad that relates to you, but maybe not something that they're particularly interested in. Well, this is very targeted. They have to be interested, searching for, a user of something related to your industry or your offer, and that's the only way that they can see your ad, which is pretty cool. So this is also called cost per view. And what that form of advertising is, so it combines the cost per click idea. For those who aren't familiar, it's if you think like Google AdWords, a lot of people understand what that is. So if you go on Google, you're going to see some sponsored stuff come up. If you click on their link, that advertiser gets charged. That's cost per click. So those advertisers only get charged if somebody actually clicks on the ad. On the other hand, then there's pricing on some of the other things we've talked about called CPM or cost per impression, that it's a lot cheaper, but the advertiser's getting charged just by having their ad seen. Whether or not it gets clicked on is irrelevant and they don't pay for that. So where this works is a cost per view is basically it's taking the cheap pricing of cost per impression, because usually those are for pennies, or that's why this is called penny traffic, but whereas cost per click is usually, $1 to, sometimes $10, $20 as if it's a highly competitive keyword. So it's taking the pricing cost of the cost per impression, but you're only getting charged if somebody views your ad, which is pretty awesome. And when that's being said, that means that somebody's searching for something relevant to your ad and it pops up, and that's when you get charged. So what is this popped up that I talk about? Well, there's different types of things. So a pop-up, literally, it's a new browser that pops up over the window. Pop-unders are another type of thing. So it just kind of, if they're Xing out windows, then they'll see you afterwards. And then this interstitial advertising, this is a website displayed before, after you get on the page. Probably not understanding what that is. A good thing is if you're going to a different site and let's say, you're looking up like an alcohol or something like that, it's going to say, hey, you need to confirm that you're over 18 or over 21 in order to access that website. Technically, there's nothing that you have to do except say, enter site or, confirm I'm over 18 or something like that. So you click on that and then it takes you to the website. That's what this is. I think Forbes.com is actually doing something like that right now. So if you go type on Forbes, something pops up. It's actually a little advertisement, but it's not an advertisement that you can X out. It's literally, this intermedial page that comes when you go to, Forbes.com. It comes up with this little ad. And then you can either click on the ad or like in the top right, it'll say, continue to Forbes.com. So that's what that type of advertising is. So those are basically the three different ways that this type of penny traffic gets displayed. So it'll pop up over the browser, it'll just open in a new window that they'll see later, or it'll actually be an advertisement that hits it before they can get to that website and they have to click continue. So this is kind of just a sample from one of the vendors that we use on these. So how it looks like. So they go and they search, they click, and then this new type of browser pops up over it that's going to have your ad, which in this case is actually your landing page. So those, that's just kind of what it looks like. Okay, so your ad is your entire landing page. That's it. So as far as, when you're talking about other things, oh, I need an email, that's good, that'll get opened or something like that, or you need a cool banner ad or, a written ad or something like that, that then, they're interested in and they click and then they get to your landing page. No, in this type of things, it's just your landing page. That's all people are going to see. And your goal here is to capture attention in, at least 3 seconds. So if it takes longer than that, chances are they're going to X your browser and you're done. So the entire landing page, and you need to get their attention. The cool thing here, and we'll go into how to do all of this stuff, but this is a highly targeted traffic strategy. And that being said, you can target your keywords and a URL. And the cool thing is you can even target your Google AdWords ads. So on those people that, here they think that they're going to click even on a Google AdWords, nope, you can have that targeted too. So they're going to see your ad before they actually get to the website from the person that's advertising with Google AdWords. So pretty ninja strategy here. So the general cost is about a penny to 5 cents for an impression. So an impression, remember that being said, it's the cost per view. It's when your ad actually pops up. So whether or not they click on it, you're still getting charged, but that's why it's that cheaper one. Some people pay up to about 10 cents in this regards, but that's for highly competitive keywords. So usually in this part, that's why it's called penny traffic. It's just for pennies. And then this, you're actually bidding on and against popular sites and keywords, depending on how many of your competition is in the different agencies that you're going to go through and use for these, or networks for this. Okay, so who's the audience that you're going to find when we're talking about this penny traffic stuff? Well, it's displayed to consumers who have downloaded free software or other things from network. So they download something like that, say like a free screensaver or, a free game or something like that. So they're downloading this thing for free, and in exchange, they're agreeing to be shown advertisement. I've seen those things before, and I'm sure you guys have, is, download these different things, and so then these ads pop up. Well, that's how this works. So basically they're getting stuff that's for free, of value. They want the stuff. So when they're getting this free stuff in exchange, they're having this software program type of thing put in there. And then that's when they're browsing, they're on the internet, they're seeing things, your ads pop up. That's where it comes into, or where I said initially, it's permission based. Somebody has agreed to see your advertisement. This is what it is. So a sample from one of the networks that we use. So their audience this is just taken, so it's a quote, the very desirable casual gaming audience, which tends to be female with an average age in the early to mid 30s. Cool. So this is when we're talking about avatars. Okay, well, if, I'm selling a product and I think this product would be perfect for females, in that age range, this would be an awesome network for me to join and target. So, that's just, that's kind of where you have to know your audience. So definitely in these traffic strategies, make sure you know who the people are that use these various networks. If you're in some kind of a, I don't know, if you're trying to market something for people who, hate computers or something like that, this might not be the best traffic strategy because, if they're not really liking computers and using them, chances are they're not going to have downloaded free software and be a part of these networks. So that's where, just being said here, make sure you know who your audience is in the various network before you go ahead and advertise on these. But if your audience matches the network's audience, you have found gold. Okay, so a sample network, I just like to always know the behind the scenes. So here's one of the networks that goes to this. So this Vamba network, if somebody joins it, so basically this is what it tells them. Our products are supported by advertisers who want to reach you when you surf the net. Okay, well, that's exactly what we're doing, but this is from what the your avatar or user is going to see. So with the installation of Vamba, you can enjoy the benefits of present and future free products. So it's a trade-off. I'll see your ads because I want these free products. And then, just kind of logistics on that. So this is how the network works from the user standpoint, and this is how you become then the advertiser who supports, these free and future products that people are getting. Okay, so as far as the different agencies, these are the 4 that we've used, recommended, things like that. So these ones, it's kind of based, like I said, as far as to get started on these different ideas, it just depends. Now, the thing to keep in mind too, this is not a fee to join the network and then you have to pay for advertising. It literally starts you. So if you have to pay $1,000, it's not $1,000 and then you need to go put in a marketing budget. It's $1,000 and then that's your initial marketing budget to get started. So those are the 4. The Traffic Advance, which is starred, that's kind of the best one out there right now. So if you can swing the $1,000, that's definitely one to try to get started with it. But yeah, just kind of, so that was what I mentioned as far as the con. You have to have a join, to join these memberships. A lot of the other ones, they're free to get started. You kind of click and choose as you want to. But we're talking about these penny traffic networks. You got to make an initial investment.